Hello everybody, my name is KirkpattieCake. I'm an author and a robot, and today we're going to talk about some Goodreads scandals. But before we get started, if you enjoy what I do on this channel, please remember to like, share, and subscribe it really helps me out. And also, this is the last week for February LBRY submissions. So if you haven't checked it out yet, or you don't even know what LBRY is, check in the link down below where it says February. On this channel, I invite anybody that watches, whether you're a writer or not, to submit something for the prompt, and then the first video of every month is dedicated to just what you guys create. If you feel like submitting something or working on something or just challenging yourself, check out LBRY, see if you might want to submit something for February, and I think that's it, so let's get started. So, Goodreads Ransom scam and platform's astonishing indifference. We'll see if there are any updates to that astonishing indifference. This is an article by Alina Leonova, and it was published January 13th of this year. You know, the lucky number. So most authors will tell you how important reviews are, and reviews are especially important for indie authors because indie books, indie publishing, or self-publishing self-published books don't normally get that many reviews or that much publicity. So a lot of bad reviews can really destroy an indie book or an indie author's credibility just by virtue of, one, them being indie and indie still having kind of a stigma against it, and then second, by having all of these bad reviews. Of course, I'm on the other side of the coin where I generally look at the bad reviews before I look at the good reviews. We all know that friends and family can leave good reviews. We also, if we've ordered anything, certain products from Amazon before, you've received a slip in there that says if you leave a good review, you can get a free product. So we know that there are some shenanigans going on there. I generally look at the bad reviews for more detail on the book itself. Bad reviews don't detour me from reading a book if I was already interested in reading it. However, bad reviews often, if they are legitimate, will tell me more about the construction of the book, will tell me more about the humor or the characters, because somebody will pick out what they really didn't like about that book, and they might pick things out that they hated about it that I might actually really like about it. So negative reviews actually do more for me, but that goes into a completely different situation. Let's read the story and see what's going up. Reviews are generally very important for authors. That's the jump off, or the starting point. So the article reads, a number of authors are being attacked by scammers who first post multiple fake one-star reviews and ratings on Goodreads and then demand a ransom to take them down. If you're not a book geek, you might not be familiar with Goodreads. They are the largest site for readers and book recommendations, as they claim on Twitter. They are essentially a social network built around books. People track their reading, write reviews, discuss books, etc. A lot of folks have criticized Goodreads because the website is obsolete and unintuitive and hasn't been improved for years. It was also bought by Amazon several years ago, which is viewed by many as a conflict of interest. All of it is true, but despite that, it still has millions of users who create all the value the website provides. It has a vibrant community of book geeks, a wealth of reviews that have been gathered for over 10 years, and book lists for every taste and whim. I've found some amazing books there just by asking for recommendations, connected with other authors, and had a lot of fun discussing books and so I want to stop here really quick because this mentions it's obsolete, it hasn't been updated, blah blah blah. I've only ever really used Goodreads to create a reading list, so I don't have to write it somewhere else. It's easy enough to find all of the books I'm ever looking for on Goodreads, and I don't really connect a whole lot on Goodreads. So I mean, I know that a lot of other people have a lot of complaints for Goodreads, but when I just use it to read and rate if I liked a book or not, and then leave a review on some of them, the other aspects don't really bother me. It's just a book catalog, basically, of what I've read, what I haven't read, what I'm waiting to read, and how I enjoyed them. So, knowing there are different experiences and different uses for Goodreads, let me know what you do in the comments down below. I've really never been involved with community or forums on that website. So I stumbled upon a thread that was initially about something else, but quickly turned into several authors complaining about falling victim to the same scam. Dozens of one-star ratings and reviews appeared under their books at the same time. They were all one-liners from private accounts without photos that said things like full misogyny, always capitalized, and the exact wording. racism, sexism, religious bigotry, etc. A few days later, someone contacted the authors saying they noticed they had a lot of bad reviews and offered to fix that for a fee and provide good ratings. Some of the comments show, well, folks, my book is sank. I now have many, many more 1-star ratings, none of which have been taken down. They say the same thing over and over, that my book is racist, full of misogyny, and outdated. Once again, I haven't even sold enough books for all of these to be actual readers. Do they not know that we keep up with the number of volumes we sold and that their ploy is transparent? Anyway, I can't fight this battle right now, so I'm going to take it down. 2 years of hard work down the drain. I probably won't see you again. With sorrow, Julia. I don't really understand why she would just take it down, because I don't think that a handful of bad reviews is just going to sink your book, especially when it's so obvious. But this also plays into a bigger issue, I think, which is the social media fear. And it's been an issue on social media for years, but it's always been focused in political circles of calling people racist or sexist or homophobic or any kind of phobia or ism that they possibly could to get somebody to shut up. And that's what they're doing with this book, is they want to defame the author and claim that the author writes all of this stuff that is basically turns them into a social pariah. And everybody has always been afraid of being called some kind of ism or an ist or a victim of some kind of phobia. And so the best action that most people take, or the favorite action that most people take, is just get rid of all of the content, because they'd rather not be called a racist or some other kind of ist in exchange for losing whatever it is they lose. And I don't think that's a battle worth losing. I don't even think that that's the correct action to take. That is your hard work. That is your story. And if those things are lies, they're lies. Work through it. You can build a community of people that aren't falsifying reviews, but will stand up with you, because this is something that is being used and has been used to control people for well over a decade. But it's been ramping up worse for the last decade. And I know it's a hard battle to want to fight, especially if you feel alone. But being called some kind of ism, or your work being called some kind of ism, is not a reason to take your work down. And I say this as somebody who just got a review the reviewer started the book off with a bunch of content warnings and then got mad that there were some jokes in it. But I don't think that your work is ever so unworthy that it should be taken down because somebody is taking potshots at you personally. You can fight that. But it's up to the individual to decide what they're willing to go through or do for their work. So, Other comments include, guess what? Just now, when I checked my author page, I found an unsolicited offer from a company who, quote, noticed that I had a lot of bad ratings and would fix them for a fee and provide good ratings. So is Goodreads allowing shakedowns now? I got the same offer. I forwarded it to Goodreads, says MK. And then Gordon says, I've had a similar offer, wanting $200 to sort it out. Passed content to Goodreads and waiting for a response. No need to be a detective to see a criminal pattern here. And it got more interesting when within the next couple of days, everybody on the thread was attacked by the same scammers, including me. It was the first time for some of us, while others just got hit again. Alina, the author of this page, says, now they've hit me as well. I can't see the new reviews and ratings yet, but there were a lot of new ones, and my book's rating has fallen from 4.5 to less than 2. The reviews are hilarious. 2 of them are even absolutely the same, and one says full misogyny, just like yours, no creativity at all. Julie responded with, I just got hit again under different names. So when the scammers see Goodreads taking down one set of bad reviews, they set up a new account and start again. At this rate, exactly what is the point of even trying to list your books on Goodreads? I don't know about you, but I didn't have to do anything to get my book listed on Goodreads. It kind of just automatically gets on there. The bigger thing is, why point people to leave reviews on your Goodreads? But when a comment just says full misogyny, readers are smart enough to be able to see what a fake review is, especially when it's spamming. I don't know, a low rating has never deterred me from looking at a book, because it could be one reviewer, it could be 3 reviewers out of 5, and it could just have not been a book in their style. Jane says that she got hit 10 1-star ratings today, no reviews for them. How do you actually contact Goodreads about this issue? And MK says, the 30 of the 1-star reviews I had the prior day are gone. but more appeared today. Both books, so it is a never-ending process. I will send them another message and screenshot. And then Rita says, overnight, all 7 of my books have received a dearth of 1-star reviews. Some of these screenshots are taken from a new thread dealing with this specific scam. The initial batch of fake reviews and ratings that I got came from the accounts, some of which had over 40 1-star ratings to them, which means that they're attacking at least 40 books at a time. In fact, there were more because not all of the accounts attacking the authors I was in contact with were the same. So all of us contacted Goodreads support, and the next day fake reviews and accounts were gone. But you'll never guess, more appeared on January 11th. New accounts, same reviews. So we go on for some more. This time it took Goodreads 2 days to get rid of the spam. For some reason, they left reviews from one of the fake accounts under some of the books, including mine. It was a bit different this time. Most of the fake reviews were still 1-star, but some of them were also 5-star reviews, which made me think, has somebody already paid them to fix the bad reviews they posted in the first place? Because remember, they also promised to provide good ones. And here is one of those accounts. So you've got 9 good reviews, 23 bad reviews. And I guess you can see what's going on here. It's a never-ending battle, and it can go on forever. Does it make sense for the authors to constantly monitor their books and report scammers just to get hit again the next day? How many authors are attacked like this, and how many of them are actually paying the ransom? That's the real question. Also, as a reader, I used to think that if a book had an average rating of about 2 stars or lower and had over 10 reviews, it meant it was garbage and not worth even looking at. Now I know that it can also mean that the author is under attack by criminals. So, if you want to know the truth, you need to look through all of the ratings and reviews and see whether a bunch of them were all posted the same day from private accounts saying similar things. For example, this down here. I wasted my 2 precious days on this disaster, couldn't finish, did not finish, so not recommended. I wasted my time on this. The less said, the better. Offensive book, full misogyny, serious anti-Christian religious overtones. Avoid, save your money, and thank me later. And you can see the same dates. And if anyone has ever been attacked by these scammers, they'll recognize at least some of the phrases because the same ones are used and used again and again. Needless to say, none of this has anything to do with the actual contents of the books. I think this really undermines Goodreads' credibility, and they would take it seriously. Yes, it affects authors, and that's not who the website is primarily for, though allowing even a small portion of your users to get shaken down by criminals is, let's be fair, pretty bad. But it also means that readers cannot trust the ratings, therefore losing a lot of the value that they got from Goodreads. So, what has been their response? They are probably taking action to prevent this. They are probably taking action to prevent this from happening, right? Because, legitimate users don't create an account and immediately start posting multiple 1-star reviews. So there should be a way to automatically flag this behavior to prevent this So there should be a way to automatically flag this behavior and prevent those from being posted. What are they doing? Nothing, according to Alina. So she wrote to support both times, and she knows that whoever works support does not control Goodreads' policy. She asked them to pass it on to their management to make sure prevalent action would be taken, and they deleted the reviews without bothering to respond. She then asked other authors about what happened with them, and their experiences were the same. One of the authors who was attacked the most times, that he received an answer a few times saying that the spam has been deleted, but none of his questions were answered. So they tagged Goodreads on Twitter. And Goodreads eventually responded with, "We understand your concerns. For security reasons, we are unable to access your account details on social media. Please contact us using the link above to speak with someone who can take a closer look at the issue." Later on, when Alina was hit by a second wave of fake reviews, she tagged them again. She tagged Goodreads again, but was ignored. Another author wrote them on Facebook and got no response again, whoever manages the Goodreads social media is not in charge of their policies, but there is some expectation that to at least acknowledge the problem and assure that they would look into it and pass it on to the people who could deal with it. As a Goodreads user, I only have a few ways to contact them, either through support or social media, and I know that Goodreads is a construct, not a single entity that I can talk to or call on this kind of stuff, but it's represented by the people that she can communicate with. So far, all of them ignored the authors as well as other authors and failed to acknowledge the issue. The astonishing indifference might even mean two things that she can think of. One, either Goodreads employees just don't care about the company and their jobs because they are mistreated or not paid enough, or both, or they care but they can't do anything because no one listens to them when they raise issues, so they don't have enough resources or staff to make a difference. Closing out at the bottom of this article or blog post, Alina says that she received a response from Goodreads on January 22nd saying that they were working with their engineering team to investigate possible solutions to prevent this from happening in the future. So the takeaway from this is, and should always be, if you are a reader, you don't need to just pay attention to the star count when you're looking for good books to read, because books can be review bombed, and I've even seen authors and readers who had a bone to pick with somebody, and so they would just leave a bad review on a book. Recently, even, I found a book that a bunch of people had an issue with the author because of the way that the author behaved, and so the readers just review bombed that book by insulting the author. And I understand the frustration that people have when an author behaves badly, but that is not an appropriate use of that system. And it doesn't make me want to read a book less when a brigade of people come up to a book and then just start attacking the author, or just say stuff like this is racist or this is misogynistic. But you know, maybe that's me because I'm cool with the Marquise de Sade, and I'm cool with Bret Easton Ellis, and I'm cool with reading all sorts of problematic texts because I'm interested in the text and I don't need a moral book. Point being, be careful of the reviews anywhere. Amazon does the same thing. It can be full of fake reviews. So just look over the reviews, look for whatever the details are that you might look for in whether something might interest you or not. The more details, the better in the reviews for specifics of why somebody did not like it or why somebody did like it. And most importantly, even more importantly than the reviews and than the numbers, because we know that they can all be faked or messed with or deleted or weaponized, is if you're interested in the book and you're interested in the plot, then take a look inside if it's got a free review page on Amazon, and that way you can get a feel for the writing, you can get a feel for the editing, you can get a feel for the layout, how professional it looks, and then decide based on that, plus the ratings, plus the reviews, if it's something that you want to look into. But there is no one way to fix this, because any system that's ever created is always going to have some way to exploit it by bad people. The best we can do is be prepared for it. So that's the thing. Hopefully Goodreads can work on fixing this for authors and for readers, because this way affects readers as well. And that's just it. There's never an end to just how much people can find ways to exploit situations for personal gain and to hurt others at the other's expenses for personal gain. I don't know, never surprising. That's why you should always focus, regardless of whether it's books or news or friendships or gossip, do your own research and make up your own decisions. Anybody that's just trying to blatantly mark somebody off or mark a person off or mark an idea off without actually discussing them is not looking out for your interest or your thought. They just want to tell you what to do. But those are my thoughts. I'm just a robot. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. If you're an author, have you dealt with this before? If you're a reader, what's your system for looking at books and star reviews and book reviews in general? Let me know all of your thoughts on the subject and more down below. If you have a subject you'd like me to cover in the future, also leave it down below or pop me an email over on my website, which is iankirkpattieCake.com. And until next time, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next video. Don't die. Dear Madam Astra, that's me. We regret to inform you that on August 1st, your employer, Agatha Jane Benedict, owner of the Benedict estate, peacefully passed away in her sleep. Oh, that's so sad. Wait. Let me try that again. Oh my goodness. That's so sad. Yeah, I think I'm ready. With millions of dollars on the line and the opportunity for your every need to be taken care of for life, tell me, is there anything more valuable than that? I didn't think so. Dead End Drive is a dark comedy novel that makes 3 promises. 1, an illustrious estate in Louisiana. 2, an opulent dinner affair for all in attendance. And 3, and most importantly of all, lots and lots of competitive murder. So if you're looking for a cozy book to settle in with for the spooky season, I've only got one question for you. Will I see you at the will reading?